The St. Catharines Youth Collective aims to be the voice of young people for recreation and social issues. The group has organized an online conference this Friday, June 18th. It's called Youth Matters. Keynote speaker and bronze medal winning Paralympian Kevin Rempel visits the source. Kevin, resilience is a big part of what you speak about in your talk on the hero mindset.
Absolutely. For those who don't know my story, I'm not going to give everything away right now, but I was paralyzed when I was 23 years old, had to learn to walk. I ended up making Team Canada in the Paralympic sport of sledge hockey and excelling, helping Canada earn a bronze medal at the Paralympic Games in Sochi, Russia. And if you can just imagine the adversity, having to overcome, learning to walk again, as well as excelling in high performance sport, resilience is a part of that foundation. And so when we get together this Friday for the Youth Matters event, what I'll be doing is sharing with the youth the tips, tools, and strategies that I've lived myself in my life to achieve these results, but also to help teach others how they can apply that in their own life.
You often bring this hero mindset speech to corporate events, corporate groups. How do you modify what you say in the hero mindset to the youth in this case?
That's a great question, Mike. For teenage youth, I actually don't really modify much at all, because at the end of the day, they definitely grasp the concept. Whereas if I'm speaking to elementary students, which I don't really too often anymore, that's where I would kind of change some of the material. But whether you're trying to get through school, trying to find a career in a virtual or remote world, or if you're trying to lead others, it still comes down to the mindset. Without giving away everything right here, is the mindset. Like, what do we focus on in our day-to-day activities? What do we say to ourselves in the moments where we feel like giving up, or when we're frustrated? Like, who do we reach out to, and how do we reach out so that we can take control of our own mind and our own destiny?
What is your understanding of the challenges that are facing youth, especially over these last 15 months with the pandemic?
I've spoke to a few different youth groups, and definitely, like the adults really, is that there's overwhelm about how to communicate, how to navigate, getting burnt out along the way. There's a lot of youth that are still trying to just feel some sort of connection, because they're not on site at the university campuses where they would spend time in residence getting to know one another and building those relationships that help them feel connected and feel like they're a part of something together. So a lot of what it seems is very parallel to the corporate environment, where there is a lot of extroverts who are now isolated or have been isolated, and they're just dying to get back out there. So what can the youth focus on? What can they do? It's learning, like I said, some of the simple decisions about reaching out to others in the virtual world, leveraging technology. I know it seems like for months we've just been doing the same thing, but how can we still build connections and relationships even if we're not in person?
On Friday, besides your keynote speech, there are also some breakout sessions, one led by you, one led by Sean Bayless of Pathstone Mental Health. How are those breakout sessions working?
Panel discussion format, inviting others to contribute through questions and answers, and specifically focusing on habits and how to change your habits if you need to make a change. So we'll just be sharing a few different ideas about how we can, from a psychological perspective, understand how our brain works, and then put that into a strategy so that you can start to take some steps to make some changes today.
You're a young guy yourself, so you can pretty well sympathize with what some of these younger kids are going through.
I'll be 39 in September, but I was 23 years old when I broke my back, and at that time my life changed suddenly in the blink of an eye. Overnight, I went from extreme sports, very active on a job site building houses, to in a hospital bed, isolated. So from the last 15 years of experience, that's what I draw upon to help relate to the youth. I've been in your shoes where things can be pulled out from underneath you really quickly, but the same strategies that have helped me, like I say, learn to walk or make Team Canada or manage COVID, I'd like to share with the youth. And so that's what we'll be bringing to the table is just what are the simple mindset shifts so that we can continue to be resilient every single day.